Salute, General, Iro, Musa, Etiquette. I'm affectionately referred to as General Etiquette, and I've been thinking. But right now, I've been thinking about my Founders Day. Happy Founders Day. Happy Founders Day to all the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the home team, Pound 470, New Ada Chapter, 413 Deuce Club. Like I said, shout out, love, blessings, respect to everybody, to all the good bros, man. '06 to all of the good bros. Take this day, right, as we go. Like I talk to everybody in my message, like I say, but at times I speak specifically to a demographic. While I speak to my brothers, right, listen in. For all of the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, take this day, right, during this pandemic to reflect. I did a video about what Alpha means to me, right? Coming up on my Jew year, right? This was my 7th year, my Jew year, being a member of this illustrious organization. Really take this Founders Day whilst we go through this pandemic, whilst we go through these hardships, whilst we have to band together, fellowship, and do a lot of different things that require us to dig deep and to bring out the best of ourselves, to be the leaders that we have been molded to be the leaders that we already were in training, being drawn to the light, the black and king's gold, the black and old gold, right? So remember, to all my brothers out there, happy Founders Day. Happy Founders Day. Keep your eyes on the light. Continue to make the Jews proud. But take this day and reflect, because during this pandemic, we need the best parts of us. Nobody can be perfect. We will falter at times. We will fall short. That is the only constant and absolute in life, is that you will fail. But what we can do, right? Our Jews came together and banded around a perfect idea, right? No one is perfect. No member is perfect. But the idea of our organization is perfect. The gold standard, right? So we constantly keep our eyes on that light and we continue to work toward that. And as we get older in our post-collegiate experience, we have to examine and think about what that means for us in our post-collegiate experience, right? The undergraduate experience is different, right? If you are a graduate brother and you're coming in, what is your thought process? What does that mean for you, right? How do you plan to impact and affect the organization for the better? But ultimately, the world for the better, right? The better making of men. The better making of men. So remember, brothers, like I said, happy Founders Day. I can't say it enough. Happy Founders Day to the greatest fraternity on the face of the earth, the history of the earth, the most illustrious organization with the most lucrative membership, right? Across the board, we are the gold standard. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Corporate. Like I said, shout out to the home team, House 470, New Ada Chapter, General Etiquette, 413 Deuce Club. Deuce is all wild. You know how that go. 2 Live Crew. New Ada Chat, man. So like I said, take this time, really sit down, analyze what Alpha has meant to you, why you originally were drawn to the organization, right? What you've done over the course of your tenure, your time in the organization, and what you look to do as a representation of Alpha, right? Because I was speaking with one of my neos, right? Shout out Kalen, right? Like I said, from the notorious New Ada Chapter. Shout out my young boy. We were chopping it up about what Alpha means to us as we continue on our trajectories as men, and as we continue to grow and build and develop and mature. What does the organization mean? What does Alpha mean to us? And he talked a lot about being a representation, the full embodiment of the organization. Wherever you are, Alpha should be properly and well represented in its entirety. It only has to be one person. It only has to be one person. I used to show out by myself. I used to stroll by myself, right? So whenever you're somewhere Is the presence and the essence of Alpha with you? Are you carrying the full breadth of our legacy in your calmness, in your temperament, in how you show up as a man, in your reliability, your dependability? So I urge not just my brothers, but men across the board, examine your life, and let's go around and let's look at the ways that we show up. Not to a societal standard, not to the standard of a woman in our lives or the women in our lives telling us what a man should do and what should be, but you actually sitting down and figuring out, what does manhood look like for you? There's nothing, everyone should be re-examining constantly, constant introspection. What's working, what's not working about the way that you're showing up in the various relationships in your life, because any interaction between two people is a relationship. So for my brothers, happy Founders Day. I urge you to take this time to truly examine what Alpha means to you at this juncture, what it means to be a member of this organization, and what it means to be a representation in everywhere you go. Because one of the things that drew me to the organization 7 years ago was the fact that I want, when people to look at me, there is what they associate me with, my letters, what our organization was associated with. That's what I knew I needed to be associated with. Right? On top of all of the many ways that, when I look back in hindsight and in retrospect, that sort of the universe opened up, that made that not only the most logical choice, the choice that I wanted, the choice that I was drawn to. I understand a lot of things has to come together in no right grades, money, right? Depending on whenever it is that you're pursuing the light and whatever portal you're attempting to pass through, i.e. chapter, there's a myriad of things that can happen. So for someone to have a process, or to go from the point of having interest in a healthy pursuit, and then reciprocation, and then the love, and then the elevation is something to be said as it pertains to Black Greek-lettered organizations, because timing is everything. Nothing is by coincidence, right? At least I don't believe there's anything that's coincidence. So, like I said, I'm a little charged up today, like I said, because it is my Founders Day. I can't say it enough. Happy Founders Day to all the men of Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to Alpha South. Shout out to ATA, the Association of Tennessee Alpha Men. Shout out to West Tennessee. I see you. Shout out to the home teams in Memphis. You know what I mean? Kappa Eta over at U of M. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, man. We out here, man. We out here. Shout out to everybody that's doing their thing. Shout out to everybody that's doing their thing, man. Shout out to my guys at LOC, Beta Xi, man. Shout out to Memphis. Shout out to all the alphas everywhere, man. Shout out to all the alphas everywhere. Today is your day. Enjoy your day, man. But like I said, take this day, analyze, survey, really think about what it is to be an alpha. And for anybody else, continue introspection, continue to dig and delve, and become a better you. If you see me in the street, say what's up, but I prefer you salute General, Iro, Musa, etiquette.